lot of interesting shit that goes on up in Michigan, man.
Yeah.
Like the first thing I was telling Ak about, or I was asking Ak about, is the amount of unidentified flying objects that appear over Michigan.
I can explain that. That's
Please do, brother. Please do.
It's the Great Lakes, man.
Yeah. That's what they said. That's what they were saying.
You're dealing with like fresh water, like you're dealing with like a high concentration of like living beings, right, within this dimension. So there's a lot of technology that is, found that is not human or whatever. That, you know what I'm saying? That, like, the same thing that makes it a vital resource for humans would make it a vital resource for extraterrestrials. So yeah, that's why you see the UFOs and all that. I'm surprised you don't see more of them, and you probably would if it wasn't for all the smog and the factories and all of that.
Yeah, that part.
Very interesting.
I seen a UFO like, what was it, 2 months ago, Z?
Was it?
Yeah. I seen like 10 UFOs in an apex design like this.
That's the Elon Musk thing, man. It was out here.
I don't know what it was.
It was out here in Austin.
Starlink.
Like that?
He flies some things in the air. You would think it's a spaceship. They fly in lines. They fly in different angles. And it's a bunch of them. You would think the world is coming to an end. I seen it and was just looking at the sky for like a half an hour. Like, what the hell is that in the sky? It was like 20, 30 dots flying in unison. I was like, what the hell? I had to look it up and then come to find out it's Elon Musk.
Nah, I didn't. It didn't fly in unison, and it wasn't flying all around. It just stood there. It was like, what color was it?
It was like a bright dot, like a bright light, just like a bright light.
Was it a color? Well, the color that I had, it was like an amber color, and it was like, yeah, it was there. But somebody see the thing about it is like, what my wife got on like that that neighborhood app.
Yeah,
and they were saying that people were like literally knocking on people's doors and trying to open up doors, and one chick said that she looked through the peephole or looked through her Ring app and was asking what was wrong. She said, I was hungry. Can I stay with you because I don't have no place to live? And then when she looked around and everything like that in the Ring, so but there was somebody on the side of the door just waiting for them to open up and make the jokes, right? So we just chilling and everything like that, and somebody rings the doorbell and stuff. Ironically, my son just rang the doorbell as I said this, but to ring the doorbell, and I looked and stuff like that, and I seen somebody, so I went downstairs, got my shit. I was like, "Who is it?" And all I heard was, all right, you know what I'm saying? Who is it? And they split the scene, right? So I gave it like 15 minutes and everything like that before I went outside to see what's going on. So I did the surveillance real quick. She was out in the front. Then I went to the back, and when I went into the back, I looked in the side and I seen like 8 to 10 like lights, amber lights in that position. And I'm just looking at it because I didn't want to move because I've seen a UFO before. And I'm like, yo, babe, come through. You know what I'm saying? I want you to see this. I don't want to be tripping. I want to make sure I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
And she's seeing it. She's like, man, what is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying? I said, man, it's unidentified. It's flying as objects. So it's a UFO, right? Get the camera. So instead of my wife, you know what I'm saying, holding the camera properly so the camera go in there, she's looking at the thing. She's just holding the camera.
Facing
fucked up the whole shit.
Facing the camera elsewhere.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck about the UFOs, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, and then I'm thinking, like, what if the people that was there that I couldn't identify at the door, that I couldn't understand what they were saying? What if they was actually kidnapping people to take them to the fucking chip?
Yo, I don't know. I think I need to be going outside at night and looking up more, man, because I be hearing these like. So here's the thing with me with the UFO stuff. I used to think that people were just out of their mind, but what I've come to realize is that a million people can't be wrong. And I'm not saying that as many as a million people at any one time have seen a UFO, but there's certainly been enough at one time to say, well, all these people can't be high or perhaps on some hallucinogenic substance or something like that. So there's some real shit going on here, you know. So,
what you think, Z?
I believe definitely in UFOs and extraterrestrials and beings that are not from this planet. I also believe in the potential of civilizations in the ocean. You know, I think that there are a lot of things that we just are not privy to. We are 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional beings, I believe. But but there are 3. We're just 3.
Yeah, just 3.
3.
I don't know. Ask Terrence Howard, man. I don't know.
I mean, I think, because what are the dimensions, right? What are the dimensions? What are the things that we can perceive, right? And then there's the things that we can perceive, and then the things that we can't perceive, but we know that like they still exist, right? So like we know that, you know, helium exists, right? Even though we can't necessarily smell. We know that carbon monoxide and dioxide exist because, you know, they could take you out even though they don't have an odor, and we can't necessarily perceive them, you know, in that way at the time. So there could be a high technology, different dimensional being in the room with each of us right now, and we just aren't privy to the technology to access the feeling of it being there or the understanding of it being there. I think we're super limited, man. And
so Z, to answer your question, it says humans are considered 4-dimensional because while we experience 3 spatial dimensions, being length, width, and height, the 4th dimension is time. So
the 4th dimension is time.
Yeah, the 4th dimension is time, meaning our existence is defined by both our position in space and the moment in time we occupy it.
Okay. So I remember my dad told me, what the hell? You think that the world revolves around you? Like, yeah, it does. Get it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I stand right here. I'm a celestial being, and y'all over there, and y'all doing y'all eat, sleep, and shit 24 hours a day, and y'all rotating around each other. So we satellites of each other. Sometimes some satellites, you know what I mean, collide. Sometimes it gives it energy. Sometimes it drains the energy, but it's all part of the system.
Yeah.
So like, I look at it like that. My question for y'all, let's talk about this shit. Do you believe in flat Earth?
No, I don't at all.
Nope.
I mean, if I could be just really honest with it about that, is that the implausibility of there even being a Earth that's flat that we're on is telling enough, and I don't understand why how people just don't realize it. So that's me saying that very succinctly. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Explain.
I mean, there are physical signs that we don't live on a flat Earth.
Like what?
You know what I mean? What? Oh, you want me to tell? You want me to say them?
Yeah, break it down, brother.
All right. So there's horizons, right? And I know that flat earthers will say, well, you would still see a horizon, right? Even being on a flat Earth, you would still see horizon just because of distance, right? But then if depending on where you are on the Earth, particularly if you're flying, you see a horizon, but then you see the curvature of the Earth, right? So that's probably the most telling thing for me about that.
Have you seen the curvature?
I've seen the curvature of the Earth. I mean,
you've seen the curvature of the Earth.
When you're flying, if you at 30,000 feet and you're able to look out, right, out your window on a plane, you can absolutely, albeit a slight one, a very slight one, you can see a curvature of the Earth.
I've never seen the curvature of the Earth.
Never. You've never seen it. So are you saying
I've seen Lake Michigan and it goes straight flat.
Okay.
Far away.
Okay.
I've never seen the curvature of the Earth.
Okay. All right.
I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm
just saying I've never seen the curvature of the Earth.
Okay. All right. But you do recognize that if you're looking at Lake Michigan, as big as it is, right?
Pause.
And your size relative to Lake Michigan, you wouldn't see curvature because you're so small. I'm not going to say insignificant, but you're small in your size relative to Lake Michigan, and the expanse that it covers is very, very tiny. So you wouldn't see it, which is the reason why nobody can see the curvature of the earth when we're on it. But if you're high enough above the cloud and you're at a high enough altitude, you can see it because you see you can see more far off in the distance, you know?
And
Go ahead.
what the fuck would damn it? What would the moon? What is the moon if the Earth is flat?
That's a fact.
Oh, can I answer this? I
Yeah,
think I asked this before the show, did I?
What?
I don't think we spoke about this before.
I don't think so.
Okay, so my ex-girlfriend's son back in the day, you heard this story, Z. My ex-girlfriend back in the days asked me, "Hey, what's the purpose of the moon?" I said, "There's no yin without a yang. There's no right without a left. There's no man without a woman. There's no right without death. Yeah, right without left. There's no life without death. There's no wrong without a hate. There's no wrong without right. There's no darkness the truth, and the truth be the light."
Okay.
That still didn't answer the question of what the purpose of the moon was.
Right.
So I was like, "All right, bet. Let me holler at you. I'm gonna follow up." So I went and I read what moon is in the dictionary.
Yeah.
I think it was Webster. You know what I'm saying? Moon is a satellite that revolves around the Earth's atmosphere. Okay.
And not just ours. There's plenty of planetary bodies in our solar system that don't have just one moon.
Right.
Some have hundreds of moons.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like when I found out what a celestial body was, the sun was a celestial body. And planets and satellites are, you know what I'm saying, objects that go around a celestial body, right? So it still didn't answer me what the purpose of the moon was. So like I went to the library in college and stuff, and I asked the librarian, "Hey, do you know what the purpose of the moon is?" So, well, my father was a farmer, and he would set his crops in a certain area because when the full moon hit, the crops would grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, like wow, and that particular day, I shaved my hair off or something, and it was the full moon. I swear to God, the next day I had a 5 o'clock shower.
Yeah, the 5 o'clock.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, but it still didn't give me the answer to the purpose of the moon. But I know there's a gravitational pull.
It never worked for me.
What?
It never worked for me, but go ahead. It's okay.
Just go like this, bro. Pause. You know?
you tell a Z on the nights of the full moon he needs to sleep with his face up to the sky.
Sleep on my back when it's a full moon.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's wild.
Wild business, bro.
That's crazy.
Not this ever, bro. Not this ever. So yeah, so I still didn't answer the question about what the purpose of the moon was. So it's they say some say that it's part of the earth and it was locked in, right? When I was in the police academy, when I was in the police academy, the chief told me that on a full moon, a lot of crime happens. That's where you get the term lunatic from. You got the lunar moon, you got the lunatic.
Oh wow, okay, that's interesting. Never thought of that.
Yeah, so like okay, lunatic like that, right? So I'm like, okay, that still doesn't answer the question. I know that it has a gravitational pull. That when it's a full moon, the water rises. So since the human body is like 90%, 95% water, and the earth is 95% water, that means that when the moon hits you, it hits you in a certain way. So sometimes you just have different moods. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on how allegedly what the information is telling me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like but that still didn't answer the question. So I went to the sun, and sun they for some reason they found out that the sun is not a star. It's like a star, but it's an exploding star. And after 10 million years, the sun will ignite, and that's how the stars appear. You know what I'm saying? It explode, and that's how the stars appear. So these stars that we see, it is actually just remnants of light. You know, it's been dead.
Yep.
That far, but remnants and everything like that, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I said, man, so I started applying it to my life. So like, okay, so satellites is on what revolves around a celestial body. I'm a celestial body. So you know what I'm saying? More Z, D, y'all all, you know what I'm saying, are revolving around me. Y'all like my satellites of me. You got energy that hits me in certain ways and stuff like that. You know, boom, boom. Okay, cool. there's 7 days a week, like there's 7 layers of skin, like there's 7 holes in your body. Oh shit, that's like there's 7 mantles in the crust and stuff in the earth. Oh shit, it's starting to make sense, right?
Yeah.
But it's
So
still
wait, I'm sorry. Can we go back a second? You said there's 7 holes in your body.
Yeah, 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, that's how I was counting too. See, like I was
Right.
Seems like there's a little bit more, right? Like
I mean, well, you got the porous of the skin, of course, but you know what I'm saying, the major holes.
Are eyes holes?
yeah, that's what I was going to ask too.
I
Yeah.
didn't add that. I just added 1, 2, the shit that you get here and listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dick hole, asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, so I'm like, holy shit! There's 7 layers of skin, like it's 7 mantles in the crust. There's 7 layers of skin on our body and stuff. So like, there's a whole world inside of us that we don't have no fucking idea. Just
But
like
that's
there's a
not
whole.
wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to challenge your wisdom. So so 7 layers of the earth, are you saying?
7 crust mantles and stuff like that. That's what.
Oh, so there's 7 layers in the mantle layer of the earth.
Correct.
Okay, all right, okay. And I don't know what those are. So I'm just I was just thinking about the layers of the earth.
7 is a special number, and the moon, we might not know the purpose of it, but the original question was, what the hell is the moon to a flat earther?
Let me cook, bro. Let me cook. Can I cook, man? See, this is what I'm talking about, man. That's why I can't have a conversation with you, bro.
The stove is yours.
All right. So that all makes that. I was starting to believe that I know what the fuck I was in my Terrence Howard moment. You know what I'm saying? And I was starting to believe that I got this massive shit going on and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I just check out the moon and the stars for the Islamic symbol that represents woman and child, correct?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the way the way the star is positioned on the moon, you know what I'm saying? That represents moon and child and stuff like that. The sun is us. On the the women are reflections of us, because like the moon is being reflected by the sun at night, allegedly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when like the sun explodes stars, so when I explode, stars appear.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Still didn't answer my question about the purpose of the moon, right? I was so frustrated. I said, yo, it's a night light at night, right? Then I started thinking, one time I was outside and I'm watching the game and it was a storm. And I looked up and I seen my first double rainbow. I've never seen a double rainbow before. And it was like, it seemed like it was plastered onto a ceiling. And I'm saying, babe, yo, you see that? Don't it look like it's on like it's on top of a dome? Like it's like inside of a dome? It looked weird, right? So then I noticed like I drive the bus early in the morning, so the moon is out, right? And I started noticing, I said, let me watch the moon and how far this moon goes, because I have witnessed the sun and the moon in the same atmosphere, right? And I'm like,
we all have, bro.
Huh?
We all have.
Right. But they're saying that the sun is reflection of the moon. The moon is a reflection of the sun at night. If you're working with light and you move it around, it's going to move around like that, right? Right? This is what I was taught in school.
The moon is not a reflection of the sun. The moon is a reflector of the sun at night.
Reflector of the sun. So if I had like a glass window, a glass mirror in my hand, and this light hit my hand, that means it ricocheted over here, right? If the sun is that big, the way they're telling us that is that big, shouldn't it be bright all fucking day? Depending on if the earth is rotating properly, like, you know what I'm saying, like I said.
Wait. So hold on a second. I got a question. So are you saying that the sun should be bright all day? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying when the sun, because we see the sun does the, you know what I'm saying, the halo,
right?
Go back to sunset, right?
Yeah,
and then supposed to go, and then
sunrise in the
everybody
east,
else
setting in the west,
right?
Right. Yeah.
Two things that I noticed about the moon: the sun is out, and if it's a reflector of the sun, the moon, Why is it still not? Why is it still there? Matter of fact, every time I started driving and looking at the moon, I waited, and it was a transition every time where clouds would come over the moon, and the bitch disappeared. It faded to a certain extent, and then this transition of clouds come. I mean, I'm driving the routes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking directly at this shit, and I'm like, yo, I gotta do a time lapse to see what happens to the moon.
So let me ask you this: I don't know if you have, right? But in the time in which that this is occurring, that the moon, the the clouds are coming in between your line of sight of the moon
at the time.
How long is that taking? Like what is
know.
the okay?
Because
I think one of the things
each route is like, you know what I'm saying, 30 minutes this way, 30 minutes that way.
Okay, you got some good routes then.
You know what I'm saying? It might even be 20. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's like, you know, going that straight route, you're going to see this moon. You know what I'm saying? Especially a full moon that's close.
Yeah. But this is not at night though, or this is at night? You're saying?
No, this is it's at night, but I start early in the morning, so the moon is still out.
So one of the things that I think that you have to consider is where you're located in this country, right? Yeah. So you're obviously more northern than somebody like me and Maul being in Texas.
Correct.
So your line of sight of the moon is probably going to be different from ours, right? And I can't begin to start to understand the plotting of how the moon scurries across the sky during the course of the day. I do know some days we have where we just see the moon all day for whatever reason, right? And I'm not sure why that's the case. I think it has a lot to do with the relative or the relative positioning that the moon and the earth have at specific times of the year. You know what I mean? Because that happens. We have parts of the year where the moon is closer. Like, in fact, this time of the year, when I was on the plane last Saturday, coming back from New York, the stewardess said, or the flight attendant said, if you look out the window, you'll be able to catch the harvest moon. This is the time of the year that the moon is the largest that you'll ever see it in the sky for the entire year. Right. And that's just because of the time of the year or the part of the year that we're in. I think one of the other things too to consider too, and this is me speaking from superficially informed place, because I'm not going to pretend to know or have, you know, now in-depth knowledge about celestial bodies and how they track across the sky. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson, even though I want to be sometimes.
I never want to be that.
I love that guy. I'm a big fan. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan. But the thing is, I think one of the other things that you got to consider too, is you know, if we have 24 hours in the day, right, which means that the earth is rotating 15 degrees every hour, right? So that means that perhaps within a short, you know, thinking about us, our position, right, being very small on this earth relative to the size of the earth, it's easy for us to miss things because they're moving pretty quickly, right, relative to our position and size on this earth. So that's it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the moon disappears, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Gravitational pull, right? If it affects the water, from that far from Earth, right? The moon.
The moon. Okay. Well, you talking about with high tide and low tide?
High tide, low tide. The moon is what creates that high tide, low tide.
That's right.
And it's pulling it.
Yeah.
All the way. Defying gravity. So it's coming this way, right?
Yeah.
Gravity is coming this way, so they're in lock, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine you flying all the way from Earth to the moon. What really happened to you?
You just completely lost me. I don't. What do you mean? So you mean if you're taking a
Chuck
flight?
Aldrin, what's the name? Chuck Aldrin. What's the name? The Aldrin guy. The guy that
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So Buzz was out there buzzing, and they said, "Yo, we going to the moon. We gonna beat Russia and get out there to the moon." Right?
Yeah.
Due to the fact that this is pulling water all the way from that particular area, right? And you're made of water. When you got to the moon, what really happened to you? And why haven't you go back?
I think you're overthinking this a little bit.
No,
Bro.
I'm not. This is a legit
We need to
question.
save this nonsense for
The
our own.
moon, the moon is a spaceship.
Oh,
There you
The
go,
moon
bro.
is a spaceship.
Make more sense
Oh,
to
my
that. Thank
God,
you, bro.
man.
Break it down, bro.
The moon is a spaceship. Why they ain't tell us what's in the moon? They could figure out that the planet has a molten lava in it. Tell us what's in the moon. Y'all went up there. Y'all keep going up there. Y'all just scrummaging around the surface. No, that's like it's all smoke and mirrors, man. Whatever it is, even if the moon is flat or whatever the fuck, it's still smoke and mirrors because they keep going up there to rummage the land. No, y'all are not. They like people, humans look for natural resources, just like any fucking habit, any species, a bug, a fly, a caterpillar. All them shits look for natural resources. So we going up to the fucking moon to just walk around that bitch? No,
No,
they
we
bring
definitely not. You're
they
right.
bringing shit back, or they digging in that shit, or they realize it was a planet. And what they don't talk about, they talk about everything, but they don't keep talking about the black lady they found in the spaceship on the fucking moon.
Wait, you gotta give more information about that. The black lady that they found in a spaceship on the moon.
That ship was on the internet 10 years ago. They took it off. It might be able to found it. They went up to the moon and it's a lady that looks mummified with dreads.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she's black.
Yep.
And they shut that shit down. She's like a giant, like mad feet. She's tall, and why they don't talk about that no more? Why they don't talk about that no more?
Where y'all get this story from? Do y'all get that from the Inquirer?
Internet on YouTube. That shit was on. You can look it up right now. If you type in "black woman on moon," that shit is gonna come up right now.
I gotta check that out.
What?
Check it out.
I can't. I don't want to do it right now because I don't want to mess up the connect. What I look on my phone. Let me see.
But
go ahead.
You gotta think about it. Like if you break it down to protons, neutrons, and electrons, right? You got the cell, then you got the shit that revolve around it. All of that's like magnetism. You know what I'm saying? That keep everything in line. You know what I'm saying? Like the moon, I don't think moves. It moves with the earth. The earth spins. I think the moon stays in one spot, but the earth spins. But the sun, and it's like the earth is spinning, but at the same time it's going around the sun. The sun stays in one spot. Everything in the universe revolves around the sun, the orbit, right?
Yep.
So that's how you get the different angles and how the sun could disappear and the moon could disappear, because the clouds don't move at that high speed. They just flush. They like clouds. They linger around. So as the world is spinning, sometimes being that the clouds are not magnetically connected to the planet, the clouds don't spin at the same rate as the moon, as the planet. So when the planet is spinning, the clouds move. Look, that's why the clouds look like they're moving slow.
Yep. I'm trying to see this. I'm trying to go ahead.
I disagree.
What? How?
When you get up in the morning and you making some coffee and you spinning this liquid around with your sugar, if you spin it too fast, it's falling out your cup. You know what I'm saying?
Because the sun and every planet, just like the elements in our body, we have it's magnetism that keeps it. That's what keeps things in orbit. Magnetism. The sun pulls. They say that the sun is actually pulling the planets closer to the sun. They keep talking about global warming and they just trying to figure out money to put in the budget, but the sun and the sun is pulling things towards it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because
I did hear that. I did hear that. Yeah, I
any
heard that.
source of energy that gives off magnetism to repel also can attract. So if it's giving off light, repelling light, it also retracts something from it. Like it's bringing something to it, some type of energy or some type of force to it. Because that's just the law of physics. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put two magnets together on one side, they're stick, you turn them around, they repel, but they still the same, the same
Still the
substance.
same force. Yeah, yeah,
Still the same. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, because you refuting. Go ahead. What's
Yeah.
your position?
Why is sky blue? Why is water wet? Right? Ghost. The sky is blue because we're underwater, bro.
Yo, y'all are tripping, dude.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, we're underwater, bro.
No,
When the
because
character,
if you do the light spectrum, if you do it through the spectrums of light, right? Every light has a color spectrum, right?
right?
So if the light bouncing off the earth to the sky is dark.
Fuck.
The light is absorbing the planet is absorbing the light, right? That's why we could see. But then in the long distance, the sky is dark. So if you put light to dark, dark will start getting lighter. So when you go through the shades of variation from black to white, you're gonna see blue
Huh?
in the light spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Getting from color from black to white. You can't go from black to white. You know what I'm saying? Without different variations of color. So I think that the darkness in the sky and the light reflecting off the earth makes the sky blue.
No, you're right, Maul. There's definitely ultimately with the sun, to Maul's point. This is a fact. Like it's the truth. The reason why our sky is blue is because sun rays are scattered across the atmosphere. That's the reason why it is blue. And then also too, evidence of that is that have you ever noticed at certain times of the year or maybe certain times of the day, the sky might not be blue. It might be kind of orangish or reddish, right? That's just the scattering of the sun rays across the atmosphere,
Got
right?
it.
So that's that's
Understand
that's
that.
what that is. I don't
Okay.
think it's anything more than that, but you think it is. What were you gonna say?
Maul mentioned global warming,
Yeah.
right? The reason why that little chick Grettenberg is so like, what's her name? Gretchenberg. What's her name? Talking
Greta
about
Thunberg, nigga, some shit like that.
Sunberg, Gretchenberg, whatever. That little chick that had that angry face, like she's about to change the world from her speech and stuff.
Who is
You
this?
know,
I don't know who this is. Who is this?
Yeah, the little white kid they're trying to make into like the Captain Planet and shit. Little
yeah,
white girl.
yeah. And
Captain
so she
Planet.
gave a scowl of the disgust of big business doing big things. Pause. Right? It's talking about, oh yeah, the polar caps is melting. Remember that?
They
Mm-hmm.
And
are.
the reason why the polar caps is melting is because of what's the name, right? Because of what we're doing, right? Global warming, right? But what they
Carbon,
fear. Hold up,
carbon emissions.
hold up, bro. What they fear is not that. They fear is going to reveal everything that they've been hiding for X amount of years. You know what I'm saying? There's more to this earth that we don't know about. It's just the image that they're showing us, and this is what it looks like. Every time you see an image of Earth, it's always blue water. When the last time you seen blue water if you ain't over there by the Jamaica or whatever like that, right?
I was
The water,
downtown.
the water is brown. The water is dark.
The
Like I
Detroit River.
literally
The
see
Detroit River is
what's
blue.
that?
The
Huh?
Detroit River is blue.
Chicago's blue, but a lot, like you know what I'm saying. But a lot of water is like dark. So how come there's not dark patches in the water? You know what I'm saying? When they look at Earth at this so X amount on feet away.
I
You know what I'm
think
saying?
I think that's because again we're seeing I think
You're
you're looking at this,
lying, bro.
no,
Like,
listen, if we're looking at this, no, hold on, let me just land this
Oh my
plane,
God.
right? I think if you're talking about images that are coming from satellites that are, an unfathomable distance above the Earth, right? Like, you're not gonna be able to see the nuance of the bodies of water, right? Like it takes you to you have to get closer to the Earth surface to be able to see those various nuances. So you asking about this, right? You're saying, all right, well, how come we can't distinguish the difference between silty ocean water that might appear a greenish brown versus the stuff that you might see in the Caribbean Ocean that is blue? You know what I'm saying? Right? That's what you're asking. I think, and I think we can answer that by saying the exact same thing is the reason why you can't tell that in some areas some mountains are snow capped and others aren't. It's just because we're so high above and the image is not intended and it's not equipped to be able to identify those nuances that high above the earth. But as you get closer, right, like when you're in a plane, you can see those nuances better because you're closer to the actual topography or the land structure or whatever.
Here you go, D.
Yeah. I saw it, Maul. I pulled it up. I have it on my phone. I'm gonna look at it when we get done. You talking about the woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it. I'm gonna check it out.
And they got some new stuff on the line online talking about what James Webb telescope just detected in space.
Okay. I gotta check that out. All right, I go. So go ahead. What would you gonna say? So we could. I think we got more.
You didn't get off for this, but pause. Yeah. But damn, pause. They lying, bro. They flat out lying to us, and they've been lying to us to keep us locked in. They don't want us to know what they know, and it's much more massive. The world is much more massive than what we think that it is. You know what I'm saying? Those polar cap ice caps are melting, and it's starting to reveal other things. They're revealing more disease that's been dormant for so millions and millions of years and stuff. There's other lands, other worlds further past Antarctica that is there and is waiting. When these alien spaceships coming over there, they probably coming over there from over there.
But see, but here's the thing. You talking like a flat earther, right? Because you're saying that there's more to explore beyond Antarctica. Correct. In either direction,
they
beyond
found
Antarctica.
They found proof.
Huh?
They found proof.
No, but I'm saying in either direction, in no matter the direction you go beyond Antarctica, it's land that has been explored. So if you're not eventually getting to the tip of South America, if you're not eventually getting to the southern tip of Africa, if you're not eventually getting to the southern tip of India, Australia, whatever, all of those places have been explored. So what is beyond Antarctica?
There was a guy that explored Antarctica, and he was flying his plane, and he went as further as he can go past the walls. And as soon as he passed the wall, he seen nothing but green pastures and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, because he probably got to the southern tip of South America. or some land that's already been explored. That's where he's gotten to. There's nothing. So listen.
There's nothing else.
I'll be the first to say that I agree that there's a lot on Antarctica, and even in the Arctic Circle above, northern Arctic Circle, that there's probably a lot that has yet to be explored, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot that could even be hidden up there. Mm-hmm. But when we're talking about flying beyond these places, all you're getting to is habitable places that have already been explored.
Just that like Columbus explored America? You mean like that?
Yeah. America, if you're talking about the north, the Arctic Circle, northern Arctic Circle, either direction, right? So either you well, parts of Canada is in the Arctic Circle, but you come down, you eventually get into parts of Canada that are not in the Arctic Circle, and eventually get into the continental US. Other parts, Russia, Siberia, maybe parts of Europe, Greenland, Newfoundland, right? On the other side, China. You know what I mean? So all of these places are habitable lands already. Like there's nothing beyond any of those that haven't, that they haven't explored. Now, in those places, when you have I've heard accounts of places in Antarctica where these ice shelves are as much as a mile thick, right? And that's not even counting what's below the water. Now, I believe that there's some shit in there that is waiting to be found. You know what I mean? And it might even hold a lot of secrets about perhaps the state of planet Earth millions of years ago, right? Before the ice age and maybe even before whatever, but outside of that, man, I think we're good. I think we found everything we're gonna find. You know what I'm saying? In terms of habitable spaces. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
D, I agree with you, man. I was waiting for a level of logic for me to be able to like jump back into the conversation, man. Like there was a lot going on, and I appreciate you being the anchor with the rope for me to climb, you know what I'm saying, back into this, because I was really fucking struggling. I think that we have to be able to agree on something to move forward, right, and find like new things out. Like if we can't agree that, like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be like round Earth. I don't think that Earth is a perfect sphere, right? Because we have peaks and valleys, right? We know that Mount Everest is the highest, you know what I'm saying, part on the Earth. We have volcanoes, right, that, are like pimples or whatever that explode and all these different things, you know what I mean? So they're different elevations, man, but overwhelmingly, the Earth is definitely a sphere. It's a globe. It's definitely a globe. The moon is a globe.
No, it's not.
These are globes, man. And
here's the thing, Z. I'm gonna say this: the Earth is closer to being having a measurement of 3.14 than it is 180 degrees. What is that?
You drew a nipple.
What is that?
This is the moon, bro.
Oh fuck!
This is what the moon looks like. This is what the moon actually looks like. I guarantee you.